everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about K-pop items that I wouldn't buy again, and actually just merchandise items that I wouldn't buy again. So basically these are items where I would like to have just one of it, but I wouldn't buy the same thing if they re-released it or if they released a new version, etc, etc. So before we start, I want to say a couple of things. Firstly, I want to say that this is just my opinion. Please let me know if you disagree with any of the items that I mention, or if you have any other items that you personally wouldn't buy again. Second thing I want to say is that this is not about me complaining that I have too much stuff, because I know that's very hypocritical of me. This is just a video to kind of provoke thought and think about how you can spend wiser and spend your space wiser as well, and really appreciate the one or two items of a certain category that you do have. The first K-pop item that I wouldn't buy again is jewelry. So I'm currently wearing, as you can see, I'm currently wearing the 17 6th anniversary necklace. But if 17 released another necklace for their 7th anniversary or something, I wouldn't buy another necklace. And indeed, I probably wouldn't buy another piece of jewelry. There are several reasons why I wouldn't buy merchandise jewelry again. First reason is definitely quality. This necklace is quite heavy, and I have noticed that it tends to get smudged and scratched quite easily. And there is a reason why there are special jewelry brands out there and jewelers where you can cut the gemstone of your choice and really customize the jewelry piece that you want. So I think K-pop jewelry is really just for show. It's not for people who are really serious about buying very high quality jewelry and pieces that actually last for years and years and can be used as heirlooms and things. So that is the first item that I wouldn't buy again. The next item that I wouldn't buy again are dolls and plushies. So I have two dolls. So these are like K-pop fan-made dolls. This is a Kang Daniel doll and this is a Ong Song-woo doll. And they are so cute. I got them for about $20 each. And basically the way you get these dolls is someone from probably a country overseas. They get group orders and then they make a whole bunch at a time. The reason why I wouldn't buy these dolls again is because even though they are cute, if I didn't tell you that this is Kang Daniel and Ong Song-woo, would you really know? Maybe you would because he says 101 here and he has the one cap. But I think dolls in general is just for people that know what it is. And if you think about it, having lots and lots of these dolls in your house can be a little bit creepy. And they do take up quite a bit of space on your shelf. I know this is it's taller than this shelf, right? So these dolls, I definitely wouldn't buy. I wouldn't buy a doll of the same person more than once. I would like to maybe get a 17 June doll in the future, but that's probably the extent that I'll go. I wouldn't get a whole bunch of dolls because I just don't really see the need to, and I would rather spend money and space on other things. So the third item that I definitely wouldn't buy again are magazines, especially either bulky magazines or magazines that only have a few pages of your idol. Now, the biggest example I have of this is Arashi magazines. So I have done shelf rearranging videos in the past, and actually I can get all the magazines out now. This is just one example of a magazine that I wouldn't get again. So this doesn't even have all of Arashi on it, it just has June on the front. And if you flip through the magazine, it really only has maybe like 12 pages of him, and then the rest of it is other Johnnies, and then it gets into other things. And I definitely don't spend a lot of time reading these magazines, but I have a whole shelf full down there. And Storytime alert. So about the second time that I went to Japan, I had this idea that I was going to get every single magazine that I saw in the convenience store that had Arashi's face on it. And so when I came back to Australia, I had one of those little carry-on luggages and I had to check it in as a check-in luggage because it was over 25 kilos. Yes, so a tiny little check-in luggage was more than 25 kilos because it was stuffed full of magazines and books. and it was so heavy and so not worth it, because when I got back to Australia and put the magazines on my shelf, I didn't touch them again ever. And so all that time and money and space was kind of wasted. So magazines are definitely something that I wouldn't get again. Okay, the next item, and I think most people will agree with me on this, is multiple uchiwas of the same person, and especially jumbo uchiwas. And I want to show you guys the giant jumbo uchiwa collection that I have of Nino from Arashi, and you'll see why. So basically I have a bunch of his uchiwas from pretty much every year that I can find, and do you see? There's so many of them. And what do I do with them? Like, I can't stick them up on my wall because there's not enough space. They are really, really fragile and bendable. So basically I just keep them lying flat on a box, which is just over here. And the other thing with these is that shipping is so expensive because they are so huge, but the actual value of these is not very much, maybe maximum $10 each. So when you buy them, you can't resell them. It's really hard to find storage for them. Their shipping is super expensive, so you can't really ship it anywhere either. I am really glad to have them, but for example, 17's Jun, I currently don't have any uchiwas for him, and I'm not planning to get any uchiwas for him because of all the reasons that I've listed. The last but not least item that I want to talk about is multiple seasons greetings, calendars, diaries, and notebooks for the same year. So what I mean by this is, you know how in seasons greetings you get like a calendar, you get normally a diary, you get some organizing things, and it's kind of like things that you can use for the whole year to kind of plan out your year. So if you guys remember my 17 seasons greetings unboxing for this year, there was like a calendar, there was a diary, there was some Polaroid film thingies, and I didn't get the Victon seasons greetings because I think it is not necessary to get more than one seasons greetings per year. And I was thinking whether I should use the 17 calendar, and I actually ended up selling the 17 calendar because I just don't think it was very practical for my personal use. And I ended up buying a calendar from Kikki.K. Yes, I actually spent more money to buy a calendar that I really, really liked. And I just think for these kinds of things where you're going to use something for an entire year, like a calendar or a diary, you should really buy one that suits your needs perfectly rather than getting like a fandom merchandise version of it. Okay, so now that I've talked about the 5 items that I wouldn't buy again, but I'm happy to have one of them, I am going to do a special little section of items that I am very, very happy that I bought. Regarding magazines, the one magazine from K-pop that I am very, very happy that I got was the 17 Daikon magazine from last year. So for the 17 Daikon, I got the Jun cover, and then I also got the giant box set. So these 2 magazines are very, very good purchases for me personally. I just think the photos in the magazines are so high quality, and I think the overall look of the magazine is something that I would be very, very proud to display, and I just love everything about the magazine. So these 2, I am definitely very, very happy that I got them. Okay, so today we talked about 5 merchandise items that I wouldn't buy again. Please let me know your opinions on this and items that you wouldn't buy again or items that you would buy again. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!